What's the deal, people? It's your boy Nigel Byam, and this is Insight TV, another episode. And we are here, within my eyes and a lot of other people's eyes, a legend in his own right, you know. As the young kids in New York would say, a young OG, you know? Yeah. An original.
That's
in the
crazy,
music.
I'm
an OG. Thanks for coming on, bro.
Yeah, thank you, man.
So tell the people who you are and exactly what you do.
Man, I go by the name of Peter Wildfire Noel. I am a singer, a songwriter, a producer. My particular niche is vocal production. I've been able to work with some of your favorite artists, soca artists, and just kind of record them, produce with them, do music with them, and I like to say I fall in the category of a motivational coach in a way, because I've been able to take that aspect of certain things into the music, the recording, the sessions and stuff like that. Yeah,
that's dope.
Yeah.
I mean, you've been around this for what number would you put on it? Amount of years?
About 17 years, about 17, almost 20 years. I would say between 17 and 20 years.
That's crazy. I think between 17 and 20. So for all the younger ones that's out there, most of the kids that graduate high school.
Yeah.
Right? You've been doing that before they even.
That's what I'm saying.
Born.
I'm wow, I'm an OG. Wow.
A young OG in your own right, you know. Yeah. And I wanna take this interview on a whole different level than the basic thing. Since you've been around it so long, I really want to dive deep into, the music industry, the soca industry, and how it can grow.
Yeah.
And just some of your personal experiences on how you went about that whole life.
Yeah.
So tell me the origination of when you started your musical journey compared to 17 years later. What was the mindset change, and how did that start, and where you at now?
Let me see if I could do a very short. I started music in school, as a kid. I was always interested in singing, and then I took on playing the keyboard. My uncle was a DJ, so I was always into music. My family's always into music, so music was always being played in the house. I guess when I was in middle school, I really kind of took more of an interest. I picked up the flute.
Okay.
And as things progressed, it just kind of grew my interest in music. When I got to high school, I joined the bands. I wouldn't say I got to play my instrument of choice, but I feel I got to do what was needed of me, which was to grow, just to get the knowledge of music. And I was able to, in my senior year, I was able to be the drum major, the leader of my band. I was able to conduct my concert band.
Wow.
So all of those things are pretty big for me. And I kind of just went through this very long process of just being interested in music and growing. To now, after high school, I linked up with a brother named Byam. He's from Serbia.
Okay. Serbia,
but
wow.
Yeah, but he was mainly into R&B and soul music, and so my involvement with him kind of got me into that type of music. Even though I'm Caribbean,
right.
I was mainly doing that type of music with him. Going to his house, he would show me how he produces, and that's when I kind of got into the whole music production part of the digital aspect of it, you know?
Right.
And man, it's a longer story than that.
Right.
I came back to New York because I was in Maryland when I met Byam. I came back to New York and I started to take photos for Wildfire.
Okay, Wildfire. I remember Wildfire. Wow.
I was taking photos for Wildfire, but at the same time, I was also starting out my interest in really doing music production, fostering my it's kind of cultivating my interest. I was able to take my experience with taking photos in events. I was able to land a gig taking photos for a Marshall Montano concert at SOB's.
Oh, wow.
And that's where I met Neutron. That's where I met Neutron. And Neutron, linking up with Neutron really, he and I really like sat down, really like wrote songs, and you know, he's an amazing producer, amazing writer,
one of my favorites,
amazing vocalist. And so he was, I should say, like he was like the start of my whole soca, you know, vibe that I have going on. Yeah.
Wow. That's like, it's crazy how this camera, right? A camera can turn something into, you know, another passion of yours.
Absolutely.
And that's completely amazing. And so in terms of that, right, you wrote numerous songs for numerous individuals, some of your favorites, Marshall. You know, you work with some of the best of the best. Right? Tell me a couple things that you learned along the journey with working with those individuals, and what molded you into the person you are today?
A couple of things. I've learned a lot of like work ethic, like, you know, work ethic, and also technique. I think that from working with Marshall, you know, he's a monster, you know what I'm saying? He's in the studio all day, every day, and you know, he's performing. I remember running with him and the team for a year, and it was just like 3 shows a night, 4 shows sometimes. And he would get up, he would go to an interview, then go to the studio, then go, you know what I'm saying, do it all over again.
Wow.
And so it was pretty crazy with him, but I think that he's built for that. You know, working with a man like Lyrical's really energetic, but he's also technical as well. Like it may just be vibes with him, but he's a technical person, and he may come to the studio with an idea, but he really shows me how to use the energy and how to, you know, get what you want from this now moment. So he really taught me how to technical stuff. Who else? Just working with other artists, like I've really learned how to speak to each other, how to deal with you, you know, on an energetic level. Personal level. And that's very, very important for me. Big
time. And I think, you know, in your field, you have to understand, you know, because you write for individuals, and understanding their energy, understanding their personnel is important to producing something for them, right? So the deeper aspect of what I want to get into this interview was, you've been around the music industry, you've worked with some of the best. Are you happy with the progress of soca music?
You know, I am very happy with the progress of soca music right now, right?
Wow.
If I may be honest, my consciousness, my awareness has opened up tremendously, and I think it's due to me staying positive.
It's big.
Because I think we have like the tendency to be aware of where we are and kind of taking the negatives from it rather than taking the positives, right? So we might say, soca music need to be this, soca music is not here, soca music is not there because it's, you know, this is that because. And I was a part of that.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? I'm like, yeah man, soca need to this, soca need to that. And in actuality, we are seeing the potential in
I love that.
What we have. Is just that I feel as human beings in this world, we're programmed to see the negatives, right? And so my thing that I've been able to really cultivate is a positive mindset and a solution-based mindset. Even when I was negative, I was always talking about being solution-based. It's like, okay, like this is the issues. Okay, so now what can we come up with to really rectify the situation? Which I don't feel like anybody else was talking about in my circle.
Wow.
So for me, I feel like the positive aspect is a major key Because when you would ask anybody who's really doing it or is having fun, like, yo, Soca great, like this, da, 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 da. Like if you ask Lil or, you know, they'd be like, yo, it's mad. But if you ask maybe artists who may not have like such a good experience, they'd be like, nah, I don't like Soca because of this, that. And it may not be true.
Right.
It may not be true. So for me, the truth is that I feel like I love where soca music is. Is there room for growth? There's a lot of room for growth.
Right.
I think that you know, soca music has had like so much time to grow. Came up at the same time as like hip hop music, you know what I'm saying?
Wow, when you put that in perspective, I never actually put that in perspective, how it actually was formulated around the same time.
Same time, 70s, you know what I'm saying? Same time as soca, as a hip hop music. So I feel like at the same time, they may not have had the same challenges or the same, you know, the same platforms or opportunities.
Of course.
But I do feel like we've had an amount of time to really get our stuff together. I do feel like soca music is also the music of the future, same way, which I may not feel with the same thing as with hip hop, to be honest with you.
Okay.
But I do love hip hop.
Okay.
But I feel like soca music is the music of the future. And I love where soca music is right now.
I love that, man. It's you just open my eyes to just the history of soca music. You know, the potential of where it can be in the next couple years. And so I want to touch on now your 2 cents on how and your positive message towards how you're improving soca music with your coaching. Right? Touch a little bit about your coaching and exactly what you do for on individuals who don't understand it. Because like you said, soca music it's been around like hip hop, right? And I'm sure there's a lot of coaches within the hip hop game, right? People that's, you know, vocal coaches and people that's, you know, image marketing, whatever the case may be. There's a lot of individuals who do those things for those artists, right? And soca music, not so much, right? So I believe the avenue that you're going is like extremely important. So I want you to touch on that a little bit, exactly what you do.
No, I think that artist development is something that is very integral for our community. Not just soca music, but the Caribbean community on a whole. You know, I don't think that we actually take that into consideration, or maybe we are interested, or we do, but there may not be enough coaches per se, and there's just many producers like who want to produce beats, or just persons who just want to, like, you know, take from the situation.
Right.
So like what I've been able to really be aware of is my ability to, again, be personable with persons, and take into account my expertise in music, and just bring them together. You know, I'm big on energy. I'm big on positivity. I'm big on treating, you know, others how I want to be treated. And I've had to really endure that for the past like 17 years, where maybe I might not have gotten that in return, so the reciprocation. So, but I think it was because I had to really go through the experience so I could get to here now and be able to talk sense to somebody and say, this is how I feel like you should do it.
Right.
Not tell nobody how to do it or what they should do, or with, you know, approach with maybe a negative, or not negative, maybe the wrong approach. Right. That may not be conducive to how a young artist would maybe take it, how you want them to take it.
Yeah, he could probably quit at that point, hearing something negative. Or hearing something that's sometimes too much of the truth.
Too much of the truth, you know what I'm saying? So that's why there's always a way. The delivery, I think, is important, and that's something that I really paid attention to for the past few years. I think for the past 4 years, I would say, my delivery on how I speak. Number one, how I speak, because I'm passionate.
Right.
but I'm also you know, a truth seeker. I'm a seer. Like I see things, and maybe that combination may not be, you know, too. So I've really been able to take my time and say like, okay, how would I want to be approached in this situation, and really take that you know, that approach to dealing with artists. And I think it's important that you can sit down in sessions and like artists will come and they'll sit down and we're talking for like almost an hour or two. I remember, I mean, Liro is my guy. Like we've had them. I think me and Liro had the most sessions in my career. But we would get in the studio and it would just be about it would just be talking, because I really want to know how your head is before we get into any type of work.
I agree.
You know what I'm saying? I want to know, you know, is the energy right?
Right.
So that I can deliver as well. Because if you're not giving me no good energy or vice versa, then I don't think it could work. You know, so I really take that into account, and I feel like others, I teach others to do that as well.
Love that. That whole dynamic and the patience that you take to make these things possible. Is why you produce the music that you produce. You understand what I'm saying? It's proof is in the pudding, as they would say. You know what I mean? So, with this whole coaching, with your experience, what's your grand scheme of what you think you can accomplish with all of this?
The grand scheme is definitely to really cultivate an ecosystem. You know what I'm saying? Like really bring together like an ecosystem of like-minded individuals and groups and cultures and ideas and money.
Money is important.
You understand? Like really get this money.
Right.
And just live and do what I love to do. That's my ultimate. You understand? And I feel like it's just that simple when it comes to my career. Like the career and life is one to me. How you do anything is how you do everything. So that's where I'm really taking that philosophy, that idea, and just kind of like putting it into everything. So how I treat my family, how I treat myself is how I would treat anybody in the career sector, in the music sector. What I would expect from the respect that I would expect from my daughter is the same respect I would expect from anybody else.
Exactly.
You understand? So, because I give the same thing. So that's how I really see. I feel like the ultimate is just to be in a position where I'm providing platforms, I'm providing opportunities, and just one of the persons, like, you know, to just make an impact and a change in this world.
I love that whole ecosystem of soca.
Ecosystem
of soca. I love that. So with that being said, I want people to understand who you are, per se, right? Where is your background from, family from? Shout those countries out. I think a lot of people don't really know.
I was born in Harlem, New York. 1987, I was born in Harlem, New York. My mother and my father are Trinidadian and Grenadian. You know what I'm saying? My grandmother on my mom's side and my grandfather on my mom's side are Grenadians. My grandmother from my dad's side is from Carriacou, and my grandfather is from St. Vincent.
Which is, you see that whole Trinidad, St. Vincent.
That's the Trinity. It's the Trinity. Trust me, it's the Trinity.
Those three right there. It's the Trinity. It's so crazy how much connection that they have. You know what I mean? I remember I was speaking to my grandmother in the past, and you know, she told me, she's like, you know, majority of people in Trinidad have some kind of link to Grenada, and a lot of Grenadians have a lot of link to Trinidad and St. Vincent and these other little islands and stuff like that. So it's crazy that, you know, I know a lot of people don't know that you have such a strong Grenadian background. Oh,
listen, Grenada is, and I think it's because of my awareness, or even my willingness to put that out there, like, yeah, I'm Grenadian, and you know, because Trinidad had kind of taken precedent because it was more popular, of course. Well, when I went back to Grenada a few years ago, and even last year, I was like, man, like, I'm really in love with Grenada right now, and I feel like I should really like put that more out, that, you know, my roots is from Grenada, and really give back. So I've been able to contribute. However, I feel like with my contribution, I definitely would need to really put it out more so that it can be accepted, I guess, directly. Like it's accepted through the artists, but I would love some acknowledgement, like, yo, I'm Grenadian, like, you know, the son, you know what I mean?
Yes, and this is yeah, you know, everybody know I'm a Grenadian. Everybody know my whole family, both sides. So I know there's a lot of Grenadians that's going to be watching this as well.
Yes.
Right, and you will be in Grenada
definitely
shortly.
Definitely.
And I definitely want to link you up with some artists, and even just to speak, because I think a lot of people need to just have a conversation with somebody of your caliber to understand who some of their biggest idols that they ever had in they could even fathom. You know what I mean? I know a lot of people see Marshall walk past, know they probably freeze. You know what I mean? So for you to be actually not just meet him, but also work with him. Lyrical, you know, that man always in Grenada, walking around and stuff like that, and doing music, and, you know, just vibing. I think that right there, them hearing that from you and potentially getting some coaching from you.
I'm totally open, big. Bro. Like this is, like I said, this is what I do, and I feel like Grenada's artists are so talented. Even if like Jab Jab is stigmatized. To me, it is stigmatized. I mean, based on the fact that, you know, it typically has this identifiable sound. However, I have been able to like really hear the ingenuity and the, like, you know, just the kind of like the crazy vibes that these artists will kind of bring, like dancehall, and they bring aspect of like other genres in there. You know what I'm saying? Like I like Dash. I like Boys, I like Muddy, I like Terra, I like, you know what I'm saying? I like these guys who kind of bring that kind of, I would say like dancehallish with that kind of,
definitely. I think Muddy is one directly who definitely has a huge dance, because he actually has some dancehall songs, some real good ones too,
I work with Muddy long time. Look at Terra long time. I work with all of them long time. That's what I'm trying to say. Like I've been, you know, I've contributed. You know what I'm saying?
That's big time. So I definitely appreciate you coming on, because you're a Grenadian. You know what I mean? And we need to spotlight that. And what I'm gonna like frame this whole video about is ecosystem of Soca. I just love the whole vibe of ecosystem of Soca, because like you said, it's just a bunch of little areas that all come together to make this whole. You know, to we can always sustain around each other and do great things around each other. You know what I mean? So my brother, I want to thank you so much for being on Inside TV. This is, like I said, the young OG himself, the ecosystem master, the mindset behind
big up to you as well, bro. You've been around for a long time. You are, you know what I'm saying, somebody who's also impactful as well. So, you know, I want to, you know, give you a big up as well.
Appreciate that so much, man. People, with the young OG himself, thank you for tuning into Inside TV. This right here, this is one of them. They had to take notes from this one right here. They had to take notes, you know what I mean? But Inside TV, Peter Wildfire, we here. One love, y'all. Peace out.